Alright, here we are dropping into a 5-skull battle on a urban biome working for the Federated Suns against the Taurian Concordat. And there are 1, 2, 3 lances that we have to get through. So Taurian forces, Taurian support lance, and second Taurian support lance. And from what we can see, there's a Mackie, then there's a variety of high tonnage mechs, 100 tons, 85 tons, 85 tons, another 85 tonner. Then there are a couple of vehicles as well, which I prefer just to fight more mechs than to fight more vehicles, but at least it is some variety, which is nice. Plus, we are, as I said, on an urban biome, which means that we do get a payment bonus if we avoid destroying all these nice, fragile little buildings. However, if they destroy buildings, it doesn't count against us as long as we have not also damaged said building. So if I were to damage, for example, this building right here, the large corporate building with 100 internal structure, basically, even by a single LRM, let's say, and then they do the rest of the damage, technically speaking, we lose pay for that building as well. So the name of the game here is how do we take down 3 lances of heavy to assault mechs without hurting, without missing, basically, while carrying a relatively heavy missile build and ballistic build with the new Jaeger mech. So it'll be a bit of a challenge. We're going to reserve. We're going to have to be a little bit careful. The back end of that Butterbee is exposed to that Mackie with Gauss rifle, double ERPPC. Going to have to be relying for a little bit on our evasion because we haven't yet moved. And my hope is, okay, light LRM's coming in. My hope is that the AI might level all the buildings around us first, because once the buildings are gone, then we can shoot without reservation, but we can't be the ones to destroy them. Challenger Axe. Ooh. Huh. Is that the tank? Is that the Challenger tank? Space Edition? Yeah. Challenger's a, well, British line of tanks. At least has been for a while. I wonder if that's inspired by it. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's keep reserving down. Mackie is the biggest threat to us right now because it might just step out from cover and completely demolish our Butterbee. Okay, sensor lock. But our pilots are spec'd out for this. I hate losing evasion pips to sensor locks. So a lot of our pilots have the pilot trait where they can't, which is quite nice. Just saved us 4 evasion pips, 2 each on 2 mechs, which is potentially saving us some hits there from those LRMs. Another scattering coming in and just missing completely, which is very nice for us. And the Mackie did withdraw. They haven't taken down any buildings yet. I don't even think they've really damaged any buildings. Okay, well, something has massive artillery. What was that? Was it the vehicle? Could have been the vehicle. Okay, so that did just demolish a couple buildings and nearly demolish a couple others. So we can't afford to hit any buildings right now, because if we do, we will probably end up with just everything leveled sooner rather than later. So we need Skyros and the Jaeger mech. We'll be bringing him up around this side, on the far side, bring those AC-5s online. But I want him right now for a sensor lock. I think it was this vehicle that shot in. Yeah, that's a Long Tom. That thing needs to die, because that Long Tom will absolutely demolish many of my mechs without a second thought. So we'll move the Butterbee up. This thing is not really meant to be a frontliner, not with its armor, not against that many assault mechs. So we're going to be driving him to the right, hopefully taking out that Long Tom. There are some fragile buildings behind the Long Tom, which is a little bit of an issue. But I would sacrifice our bonus to, not have our mechs get completely eviscerated. That seems like a good thing. I would like to take this shot on the Mackie, but these buildings are all going to be dead next turn. We're not going to make it through the Mackie's side armor with just that. So unfortunately we will wait. Grouping up is a good way to let the Long Tom shoot in us again. but I think that thing moves relatively low initiative. So we will be trying, potentially succeeding, but certainly trying to take it out before it has a chance to fire again. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that 85 tonner is. I don't know why. Okay, if that pilot maybe resists sensor locks just like ours do, maybe that's why we didn't actually get any information from that. And we're going to be moving up toward the center, trying to avoid the mech and the vehicle here on the left for a little bit. Basically slicing off this lower section. Battlemaster 1G, Battlemaster 1G. Yeah, we're going to try to kill the Long Tom, kill the two Battlemasters, deal with the Stalker, probably with heat damage. This is a laser heavy build, which does, I mean, every Stalker configuration builds a fair amount of heat. Oh, come on, why is it not letting me? There we go. Yes, I haven't done yet on the Ostrock, that's why. Okay, and I'm not entirely comfortable using the AoE rounds next to building, otherwise I would shoot them out with a Long Tom. I think what we'll do, we'll move up to right here. I do want to do some damage to them on the first turn, considering they've gotten damage in on us. No, let's wait until the Long Tom's off the field. Potentially a bad decision, but we'll know it when it happens. Or hopefully we'll be able to overcome it decently well. So, you know, we've been a little while. Oh, inbound. Another Lance inbound. Oh, man. This is good. This is good. Hopefully it's another Taurian Lance and it'll be 4v1. Well, 4v, like, 1 3/4 with how many mechs we're dropping. But maybe it'll be another faction and they'll have some infighting, which could also be very interesting. So let's move up. Bomb Squad's Marauder. I do want cover, and I want to present bad sight lines, because the purpose of this is not to have him shoot. The purpose is to have him ping that Long Tom. Okay, and so it's moving on to. Let's reserve down to 5. Looks like some more LRMs coming in. 1 now tagging the Thanatos, because we do, I mean, 6 evasions less than 8. Not great at math, but I'm pretty sure about that. And let's see. Okay, so that building there has 60 structure. It's a small corporate building, which means that missiles are really not the way that we want to take down the Long Tom, but it might be our only real option here, and that's a lot. That's a lot of armor on that thing. The MRMs almost certainly will hit on the buildings. Okay, let's reserve down where we get shot at by everything. Okay, that Battlemaster moving is nice. Only hitting really with a medium laser. Okay, good, good. Very good. Okay, so let's think through. What happens if we leave a Long Tom online? 1 more round won't kill most of our mechs, or even damage most of our mechs too severely, but it might lead to bad consequences down the line. You know, easier access to our rear arcs, easier access to our side arcs, things like that. Alternatively, it would almost certainly flatten most of the buildings in our way, which gives us easier shots, but I think I'm overvaluing that, because we're going to be coming into this clearing here, and shots into the Battlemaster, for example, won't really have to deal with all that much in the way. What can I get? Ooh, that is nice. Okay, so we'll come up here. This is a perfect time when we're fighting enemy artillery to use this defensive formation. And now we have decent accuracy with the lasers. Does look like I still pinged that building, though. You know what? Losing the pay isn't as important as not losing our mechs. There is another building going down there. And it really sucks that we pinged that building already. So much more damage we need to do into that Long Tom. Can I hit him with a tag? I might be able to, but then would I still be able to see him with the Thanatos? Yes, I would. Okay, let's see if we can hit him with the tag. And we'll still fire in. Those medium lasers are more reliable for not hitting buildings than the missiles are. hit the other building, so we've damaged both of those. If those buildings go down, there goes our entire bonus. But we have now tag marked this guy, and what do we follow up with? What do we follow up with? The Timberwolf get there, not with direct fire. That's still... don't love the thought of the... well, Butterby can't get there, so... Alright, let's just go in with the Thanatos. Let's try and control our angle here. I want to shoot at most so that we take down the one building, so the two. We do open up the Thanatos to a lot of return fire here. It's going to be very risky. But let's see if we can... okay, it's one down. Okay, we killed one of the buildings, but not the other. And this Long Tom is nearly dead, but not completely dead, and nearly just doesn't cut it. Nearly very well doesn't cut it. I think I'm not going to be able to. Oh wow, this is really not good for us. Okay, I can shoot him with the ATMs. I can even battle lord, and that's really our only chance of taking down that vehicle before it shoots again. Let's try it. Oh come on, yes, there we go. Okay, the Long Tom is gone. We've only hurt one other building. Okay, so we'll try and push the battle away from there. But luckily, I mean, that absolutely devastating artillery is offline now. Okay, the Mackie is moving up, shooting into the Thanatos. Gauss rifle killing another building, but luckily one that we didn't touch. And now we have a pretty open field of fire here in the center without really much in the way, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Let's bring up Atlas. I still don't really want to use... well, I mean, there's no buildings around this guy. Let's go with the AoEs. That Battlemaster. Okay, decent damage. Nothing crazy, but better than not shooting at all. And we don't yet have a great line of sight or a precision strike with the Jägermech 2. We will be hoping to get some head caps from this guy, but for right now we're just going to use a sensor lock, tag the Battlemaster, take him from 2 evasion pips down to 1, and then we'll move up with the Butterby. Yeah, let's do this. Get it right up to this guy's side, and pile in on this Battlemaster. Okay, we didn't hit any buildings, we did tag mark him. We also chewed through, I'm hoping anyway, a fair amount of his armor. And there's the other lance, Circinian markings. Okay. Alright. Alright, so Grasshopper, Archer, Banshee, Victor. I would like to get that Victor. I do like the Victor chassis. Okay, Banshee through Q. Alright, so it doesn't look like they're allied to the Torians. So we could get some decent assistance from them here. Let's see if they fight amongst themselves. Stalker's firing on the Grasshopper, so yep, they are hostile to each other. Stalker just plowing right through a building because, why would a building stop them from hitting their target? Let's see what they do. I'm almost a little bit disappointed. I do like uphill battles. Which is hard to get in the later game, particularly because I do so enjoy having heavy mechs, which is a little bit contradictory, right? You run lighter lances, you'll have harder battles, but I don't know. There's something about fielding 100-ton, 80-ton sort of mechs and just jamming every gun on them that you can find. Ooh, wow. The computer's really chunking away here at figuring out who's going to go where. Grasshopper 5H, not shooting. Interesting. I wouldn't have made that choice myself, but, what can you do? What can you do? This is a risky reserve because there are 4 of the Torians moving on this turn. Does look like the Marauder is going to take, look like a light PPC? Interesting. It might have been a standard PPC, just damage. Oh, right, because we have the 20% from cover, we also have defensive formation, so that would have been a standard PPC shot. And that Battlemaster's cooking, which is interesting. We can pile in with the Marauder and get a little bit of revenge. for that PPC shot, assuming our accuracy isn't terrible. Archer. So they're a little bit confused over there. They're just kind of hanging out. So a long-range armament shooting in at the Butterby at close range, and thankfully missing. I think we are probably inside the Gausses. Minimum, well not minimum, but certainly close range bracket. Or maybe minimum. Alright, a little bit of damage going into the Grasshopper, and the Circinans are really not helping us out terribly much at the moment. Okay, drawing some fire. Drawing a lot of fire. And that Devastator is now potentially giving us maybe a rear arc if I can get around to the right, but the Timberwolf is farther back than I'd like him. Had to do that to get those ATMs on target. But that's certainly a rear shot waiting to happen right there with the other Battlemaster. So now what we'll do is we'll take Bomb Squad and we'll get him moving up with good evasion. Cut some of the sight lines, but not all of them. And we'll go ahead and try to overheat this Battlemaster even more. Not great accuracy because we do have an accuracy penalty. So of course we land all 4 shots and we only have a 3 in 4 chance of hitting. But that Battlemaster is completely cooking. Stalker's coming in with that mostly laser loadout. Only landing a couple of its, I think, SRMs though. Most of the lasers missing. And ooh, I'm feeling a lot better about this now. It's a shame we couldn't avoid killing any buildings, but sometimes you have to do the least bad option. It isn't always what you want it to be. So, is there a way I can get an unobstructed shot on the Victor? Because I would like that. No, that's the Archer. Yeah, it's going to be obstructed pretty much all the time. I could shoot in the Devastator. Not really sure that there's a need. Let's see where I can get the Timberwolf. So, okay, yeah, we'll bring the Timberwolf up, and we'll use the first of his, hopefully, just one-shot kills in the rear arcs of some of these mechs. Doesn't matter how big you are with this much firepower plowing into your lightly armored side. Yep, Battlemaster's down. Very, very nice there. Only one salvageable part from the Battlemaster. I couldn't care less on that. That's not exactly a mech I'm dying to collect at this point. Although it would be fun, but you know. Alright, so let's go right here with Santa's sled. I was hoping we could kick him, but I don't think we would have to have been charged, which I'm not one for charging. We will go ahead and get a precision strike. Hopefully we don't hit the building by mistake here. We might have hit one on the back, actually, because the ER large does go wide, despite having a 99.1% chance of hitting, but, you know, I complain about the odds a little too much, I think. Let's reserve down to 2. We'll let their last mech on each side go. The Banshee still for Circinus, the Mackie. Mackie landing the Gauss rifle and probably 2 PPCs into the Grasshopper 5H. Who takes it like a champ, I must say. Right arm's exposed and nearly gone, but there's nothing really in that arm anyway, so it's no great loss. And the Banshee, so 3 of the 4 Circinan mechs didn't even shoot, which is a little bit disappointing. So we can get around here. It's just a tag, though, is the issue. Still, we can still land the tag. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Get around behind this Devastator. And hello, sir. You have not been tag marked because I missed. But I tried. That's the thought that counts. Or so they tell me. So we'll move up into the building to get cover for the Atlas. Did have to go in at sprint, unfortunately. And who can we get a good shot on? Not great options here. Let's go to the Art 4 ammunition. I did want to tear off this medium pulse because it's not really doing a lot for us. We should have the Devastator, but I was hoping to, well, interesting. Not a ton of amazing options. What happens if I precision strike? What's that do to my accuracy here? That's a fair bet. Let's shoot him with the Banshee. I do want that AC-20 offline. And, you know, we will have to kill them eventually. Unfortunately, that Banshee is very up-armored and just took all of that like an absolute champ. Really only showing much damage on the CT and left leg, basically nothing anywhere else. And we'll move things along a little quicker, I think. Let's go ahead and get the Thanatos moving around this side as well. No guns online this turn for him, but that's alright. And we'll get the Jägermech moving up at a sprint. I don't want to use the, well, could. No, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just shoot 6 of these and tag Devastator. Good contact, and we do get tag marked, so that's a worthwhile turn. And Butterbee is going to do what? Butterbee... This thing really did need the jump jets that I, like an idiot, just tore off of it, but oh well. Everyone makes mistakes. Surprisingly long range on even the SRMs here. I am, I guess, used to the clan ones, but this is a benefit of the regulars. So let's unload everything on him. Okay, good. No collateral damage on that, and we did a fair amount of stability damage to him as well. We could move... Yeah, let's do this. Let's get up into that building spot there. Present a frontal facing to the entire field, and... Wow, that's bad accuracy. Into forest, medium range, target move self, sprinted, enemy effects. Like what? Okay, well, that's too bad. Our only good shot is into the Devastator, which I consider a bit of a waste. Okay, well, you know what? Let's active probe ping, because we'll hit 3 things with it. And that's alright with me, better than the standard sensor lock for us right now. Okay, not bad. And we'll reserve. Atlas taking some light counterfire, only 1 LRM shot hitting, which is nice. And let's see what they do. I am thinking, by the way, that the next mission, I don't know about the next one, but certainly we'll do another flashpoint this week, maybe even 2. Oof, AC-20 pounding into that large building, taking it right down in 1 shot. Clearing our way a little bit, which is kind of nice. And we'll reserve one more time. I want to get that Thanatos around for the rear arc. Okay, Marauder taking a little bit of light fire. Nothing too bad. Okay, so there are 2 mechs on this Ursinin team who have initiative on this turn, so that's initiative 4. Let's see what they do. Last turn, only the Grasshopper shot, I think. This turn they've already done better than that. I hope they continue. Grasshopper shooting in at the Challenger main Battletech, and some good laser hits. We'll certainly be appreciating that later on, because those mechs are just, not mechs, vehicles are just a pain to kill. Here's our rear arc that we wanted, into that Devastator. So let's go ahead and land it. Precise strike just to bring the MRMs really well. And that's structure exposed, and that mech is gone. Very nice. Starting to make decent progress here. Good. It's 3 down, including the Wong Tom anyway. I wonder how we should handle this Ursinins. Ideally, we want our opponents to be shooting at each other pretty much the entire time, right? If we can keep a couple Ursinins online and a couple Taurians online, they might prefer to go after each other than us, which is always a good thing. What happens if I... No? Okay. Alright, so let's get cover here. And let's see where there's a good target. So the Victor is obstructed, the other, so the Banshee is not. Archer, not the best accuracy there. Good accuracy into the Grasshopper, but it's a little bit of a waste. And the Battlemaster's too close by for that really to be useful. Let's precision strike into this Banshee, and we had tried going for the head cap, but we don't really need it on that. So let's see if we can instead use this to core it out. 76% chance of hitting that CT. and I had meant to fire full 12. Instead, I only fired 6, so that's my fault. Banshee does have Banshee Rugged, so above 200 structure on that. I'm not terribly comfortable moving around there until the Mackie has had a chance to move, because if he goes up for a rear ankle shot, that'll be quite painful. Stalker coming up, shooting into the Santa sled, missing. Actually hitting the Mackie a fair bit. Very nice for us. Good. The Mackie still hasn't moved. We could... Can I... Why can't I kick? Interesting. I thought I should be able to kick there, but I can't. Well, that's unfortunate. Serve down one more time. Battlemaster just trying to get closer to not completely overheating. Oof. Gauss Rifle pounding into the Atlas as a missed shot, finding a nearby target. And the Jägermech does take PPC, which will affect his accuracy on the next turn. Now we can come in, and we could kick you. Let's kick you. This seems like a good idea. And we'll follow in with the LRM 20s because their clan... Oh, what? That was a punch? Excuse me, sir. I said kick, and then I changed direction. Still, LRM 40 just tunneling right through the side of that mech. Pilot is bleeding out, but he has 4 activations left, which is a fair number, so I want to see if I can increase his pilot damage by knocking him down. What's the best way to do that? We have the Butterbee. Let's get the Butterbee up here. This is something that you can do, right? Should be. Okay, let's go for it. I unfortunately hit a building in the back there twice. That should be a knockdown on the Mackie. It is. Did also get a pilot hit before the knock. Very good. Okay, injury resisted again. Alright, so not really going toward our goal there of bringing him down sooner. What we can do is we'll get up here. The Ostrok and the Thanatos will team up to take on more of this Circinin Lance. And let's go ahead and strike at this Banshee. Okay, we do land all 4. We also reinforce that tag. Doesn't really do anything. I just didn't feel like turning it off. Let's run up here and say, hey buddy, to this Mackie that's already down. Loading with all of the mediums and the small pulses. Okay, that mech is down. Very nice drill. It's pretty good. Okay, there's another mech off the field. Good. Now we have the Timberwolf, and how do I even get off this thing? Is it not letting me? Is that not lead down? I have to go around? That is extremely annoying level design. But, okay, fair enough. We'll bring the Timberwolf around so he's in close range for next turn. Could get some shots on the Grasshopper if we change to standard ammunition. Yeah, that's pretty good accuracy. Or we could go in Banshee with those ATM 9s, but low odds of actually coring him out. Still, I think that's what I want to do. Let's try it. Yeah, okay. Oh, that was an okay volley. Nothing too crazy. And now that Banshee will be moving up, the last thing moving for the Circinins on the end of the Circinin second turn. Really did get a little bit of a late start. Big gun going after the Thanatos, missing, thankfully not hitting anything behind him, which is very nice. And he's an ace pilot, so he's moving afterward. And now we have Bomb Squad and the Marauder, and we are ready with another precision strike, which is quite nice because I do want to see... I always feel a little inefficient when I start working on a mech with this guy, and I take him out by conventional means. If we start working on somebody with heat, I want to see if we can finish them off that way. We're moving over here to sprint just to get a couple evasion pips. 3 evasion pips is far better than 0. And this guy does tend to draw fire, although maybe not so much anymore. It's been a little while since he's really been aggressively targeted. 1, 2, 3, and 4, pushing the Battlemaster back up toward the red line. Hopefully we get an ammo explosion. If not, we'll just keep him offline for a little while and prosper because of it. Let's see where the good shots are. Very few at the moment without risking quite a bit of collateral damage. So let's let things move, let's let things groove, and shoot at each other. Unfortunately now taking a bit of fire into the Atlas. Now it's the Circinin turn. Looks like they're moving the Victor. Oh man, I really enjoy Victors. It's probably just me, but everyone has their favorite mech. I think Bloody Doves mentioned he's really not a fan of the Atlas. I very much am. I quite enjoy it. Unfortunately, losing 2 evasion on the Marauder is really not something that I wanted to have to deal with. We could get a rear shot in at the Battlemaster, or we could start working on the Archer or the Victor. Yeah, okay, well, let's just wait and see. It really is better to let them go after each other first, I guess. If we get right up in their face, they're going to target us more than if their nearest target is also on the other AI team. So let's see what they do. It looks like the Archer and or the Grasshopper currently taking their turn. If one of them comes a little bit closer, we could potentially, yeah, we might be able to get a rear shot on the Grasshopper now, although it's probably a little bit ambitious. Yeah, let's take a look. I might be able to with the Thanatos. Yep, I could. Good with the Thanatos. So that's what we'll do, but I want to let their Archer move first, just because, well, why not, at this point. And we'll just scoop that right side ground from the Circinin reinforcing lands that should have just held onto the corner. I mean, okay, alright, and the Archer's doing that, so just thinking tactically here, bad position for them to drop in, but assuming that's where they dropped in and they have no choice, how do you react to that? Well, how you react to it is not by letting someone get around and open up your back, which is precisely what they have just done. So let's see if the Grasshopper survives this. He might. But, nope. Alright. The MRMs do their work, and that Grasshopper is kaput. We could actually bring Grasshopper to the field. We have enough parts for it, just through a couple missions of fighting them over and over again. Don't really see a spot for it on our team at the moment, though. I don't think it's really necessary. I mean, the Santa sled has been fun, but I think we will replace it. It's not really packing the punch that it needs to, and it doesn't have the speed that it needs. So it's a little bit awkward, even though the turret is nice. Good positioning can get around the need for it, and it's not even cooling itself that well. There's baseline expectations there. I could improve that a little bit, but we can only work on so many mechs at once to really try to improve them, and I have a little bit of work that I need to do on some of the other mechs first, I think. So let's see. Let's let them move on too. The Banshee could move, the Battlemaster might just explode for us if we're lucky. And the Mackie landing another Gauss rifle shot into the Banshee. Looks like that was probably an exposed leg, I want to say on the left, on the Banshee's right hand side. What else is moving? So now it should be the Banshee, then the Battlemaster. And that's all they've got this turn, which isn't bad. Starting to wear them down. Right, so we've taken out 5 mechs. Not terrible. I guess 16, well, how many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so hard to count when you're moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 left. Was one of these a little bit light? Might have been. Oh, that's right, it's technically we have a single target for the mission. So the flavor for the mission was the whole captured mech of yada yada. Somebody else is fielding it, we'd rather destroy it than see it used by our enemies and all that sort of deal. So let's Battlelord and pile into the Stalker, try and get through his damage mitigation, which we do okay. I mean, that's what, looks like 15-20%. The Battlemaster avoids exploding again, so he's just our new target for the Marauder, but it is why I do want to replace that Marauder with something with a little bit better guns. Nothing crazy, but a little bit better guns. than we currently have. We can move over this way. That is risky. I think what we'll do is we'll stand... well... no, alright. Fine, fine. Move up this way. And we're going to shoot into the Battlemaster. At this point, give me all of it. Well, no, because that's gonna build up some heat, so... instead, let's go with 4 shots each. Not bad. Rip off that right torso, it looks like. And that mech's having a bad day. I would be too. I'd be having a very bad day. This is why we waited. Now we have the back of that Banshee available to us with the Timberwolf, and we will take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and do a precision strike. Let's move over to the HEs just to really get this done. Turn off one of the SRM6s just in case, because I don't want to get the building to hang them too hard. I think we did tag it with 1, but unfortunately the Banshee does survive. Such heavy armor on that thing. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay. I should have realized because it had the rugged trait. If it didn't, we probably would have taken it out then and there, but, you know. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, and all that. So we'll move right up to their archer, but the target here is still the Banshee. We do land 2 medium lasers back there, taking off the right torso, and I think that CT is holding on for dear life. Yeah, 19. So if we had hit with a single additional medium laser, that would have been it. The Butterbee is going to move right up here and precision strike in at this Stalker. Let's hope we don't take down the building behind it. We have damaged it once already. And yeah, so we're chewing through nearly half of that Stalker's overall armor. And some of that's on the back as well, right? So if you're at 50% really showing on your opponent's bar, keep in mind too, you've really gotten more than that in terms of percentage on whatever side you're shooting at, assuming you haven't been spreading it completely evenly, which is usually a good assumption. You don't tend to hop back and forth from shooting at the back or the front of things like that. So, bit of a ghost arm left on that Battlemaster. It's a little funny looking. He does survive a shot, which isn't great for us. We could shoot at the Mackie, shoot at the Archer, see whatever gives us the better shot. Here's the Mackie, and we're going to be going for that side torso. 80% chance to hit it. That will, so shoot in with all 12 shots, and hopefully we can just skip the arm. So not quite. Looks like we did rip open that torso, but not enough to really pound it home. And I'm beginning to think that the rotary AC5s would be pretty well paired with 1, better heat sinking, but 2, some sort of missile to try to crit seek in after those single shots, because you know, a couple missiles hitting in there would have been potentially able to rip off whatever piece we weakened. Yeah, 13 left in the right torso is not a lot. Let's see what we can do with the Timberwolf. Can get up behind the Archer. Let's go ahead and do it. It'd be nice if we could kill this guy. I'm not sure we can. We can Battlelord into him. And we'll bring the other SRM back online. This is the last of our effective HE bodies. If we can take out the Archer in one go, that's worth it. And that mech is down. Good. Half the Circinian forces are down, and the Banshee is hanging on for dear life, so we're chewing through them a little bit more than I would like. Atlas does take a Gauss rifle shot. That's what he's meant to stand there and do. You know, as General Alexander Kerensky himself said, he wants a mech more terrifying than anything else, even. Let's knock this guy over. We'll turn off one of the medium lasers, really try and get as much stability damage as we can. Another shot going into the building, but not enough to take it down, and the Stalker does fall over. The Butterbee is really lackluster. I think we will... You know what? I said we didn't have a spot for the Grasshopper. Now we might, because the Butterbee is not something I'm going to be keeping around. The Hero Mech quirk is nice and all, but I'd say definitely not worth it. We're going to wait just so that the Banshee could potentially draw some fire. I don't think it will. I mean, their entire lance is pretty hurting at the moment, so we'll come up right here, we will kick and we will shoot. The shooting will probably be enough on its own, but why not kick if we can? Do destroy an actuator there, and oof. So he actually punched out before we even took down the back of that thing. We might be able to get a fair number of pieces from that, if that's what we want. Unfortunately, okay, only one salvageable part. So I think it did count the shooting in, it just didn't display it. What to do now? So we take the Thanatos, we can't get an unobstructed, so if I take this shot right here, about half of my MRMs are going to pound into that building, and that will completely cut our pay, which is not what we want at all. Let's reserve down to 1. Okay, the Stalker does stand up. Should have taken that shot there, but I didn't. And is he shooting? He's moving. Shooting into the Santa sled, landing a couple of lasers in. Nothing too bad. We need to take out that mech on the side and the Stalker on the side. We're not really in a position to do so. So I think we could start working on that with the Thanatos, try and get around here. I mean, this works. Alright, we'll run up right to the Mackie. We can load into him and then start moving through to get to those other remaining enemies, and we can potentially even rip off his side torso while we're doing it. So, oh yeah, more than enough damage going in there. Probably have exposed the structure on the CT, or at least done a significant amount of damage into it. Okay, yeah, this guy, Mackie's carries so much armor. The Victor does take some damage from the Mackie, and does lose its AC-20, which is a little bit reassuring, because we do have a fair number of mechs down there. And, you know what? Controversial decision. I'm going to shoot into the Challenger. We do land with Brute Heavy Chaos, we do land everything, basically, except for the couple missiles that were hit by AMS, and still not enough. 325 frontal armor, 255 on each of the sides. That mech is a behemoth. Shoot at the Battlemaster. Or, well, yeah, why not? This thing has been around for too long. Destroy something else. Oh, it's still bleeding out. I mean, they're not even holding on well at this point. They're just holding on for dear life. Okay. Hey, Battlemaster. Please die. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Still not dead. Wow. I mean, this guy, he has 217 of 651 structure left, 204 of 1160 armor left. Gotta appreciate it at some point, man. He's doing his best. We do have a jammed rack 5, so we're just gonna stand here. We're gonna go to 3. We'll try and finish that guy off. We do finally take down his engine, and that Battlemaster's off the field. Other rotary AC-5 is unjammed. And the Atlas taking a smattering of LRM fire from the other Stalker, nothing to really write home about there. Okay. Getting close to the mop-up stage at this point, which is good. It's just taking so long for the opponents to figure out where to move. And for me, I don't go particularly quickly on this, which, I mean, hey, you can have speed or you can have precision. It's kind of hard to get both some of the time. Okay, so we can come around the back end here. My concern is if we switch to the standards, which we have to if we want a full volley, yeah, we're losing accuracy now with these standards. I had meant to precision strike that. Instead, I fired at it like an idiot. I'm not even entirely sure what we damaged there. We did rip open the back of the Victor. The front of the Victor is also open, but he does have Victor Rugged, and I'm getting a little bit tired of all of the mechs that are too rugged for their own good here. Of course, it's helpful for us to field them, but I don't appreciate the enemy fielding them, naturally. Decent damage into the Mackie. Let's see what we've got. Still the Butterbee. Let's see if we can finally... So the Butterbee shooting into this Stalker has just ground down all of its armor on the outside without actually giving us anything exposed. The But now we're getting to the point where we might actually get some of those torsos. We'll cook if we turn on our medium laser, so we still have to keep that off. And... okay. I mean, this thing has had 40% damage mitigation the entire game. It's just... man, those stalkers can take a punch. More damage going into our Atlas, and now we actually have to worry about him a little bit. We can only take so many Gauss rifle shots before it does become a bit of a problem. And if we look, they've all been pounding right into the CT, down to 95 left out of 320. So, you know, if he lands another Gauss rifle shot in there, we'll basically have no armor left. Let's go into the back of this Victor. A little bit of a dangerous angle here, but I want this back gone if we can manage it. Down. So now we just have the Mackie, we have the Stalker, we have the other undamaged Stalker that's been plinking away at us the entire game, and we have that main battle tank with the absurd armor. So let's pop defensive formation, get everybody their 20% damage resist, and shoot into this Stalker again. Not enough, not enough. Okay, Mackie's on the move. Shooting into Santa's sled. We have taken the Circinans off the board entirely, so no more shooting in at other people. With them, we can get a left facing here, and that'll help us, plus the 40%, 20 from the standing in a building, and 20 from the defensive configuration will help us out. If we miss with the improved heavy Gauss, we're taking down a building, but give it a shot. Okay, so we missed, we didn't take down a building, because of course we just blinked it right into the sidewalk. And the Challenger does have some structure exposed now, which is nice. We only need to take down one of its locations. Shouldn't be terribly hard to get that done. Let's see. So, Bomb Squad coming in with the Marauder. Again, we can shoot in at the Mackie, all the way over there, or we could try to shoot in at the Stalker. And I think the Stalker is the better target. 92.7% chance. Okay, you know what? Why do I even look at my accuracy? We should have landed all 4 of those, but instead we killed our second building, which means that we're going to be paying a fine. Of course, now it doesn't matter that we haven't destroyed other stuff, so let's just, you know, turn on all the guns and get it done. May as well. Shoot in with 12 of these at the Mackie. Give me that CT. Mac down.
All primary targets have been destroyed.
All primary targets down. We don't have to be careful about our shooting. Wait.
Mission successful.
Dude, I wanted the extra pay from the other mechs. I guess we don't get it, so that's the mission, but bit of a surprise ending there. Thank you guys for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.